Where will Vladimir Putin be living in 2025? This question has sparked a whirlwind of speculation and debate across the globe. As the year 2025 approaches, the world is keenly watching the moves of one of the most enigmatic leaders of our time. It's a question that has many people talking. From political analysts to everyday citizens, everyone seems to have an opinion on Putin's future. Will he continue to wield his influence from the Kremlin, or will he retreat to a more private life? Will he still be the powerful leader of Russia? Putin's tenure has been marked by a blend of strategic prowess and controversial decisions. His leadership style has kept Russia at the forefront of global politics, but it has also drawn criticism and opposition. Or will he be living a quieter life somewhere else? Some speculate that Putin might choose to retire in a secluded, luxurious estate, far from the public eye. The idea of him living in a serene villa surrounded by nature is both intriguing and plausible. The answer might surprise you. The future is uncertain, and Putin's next move could be anything but predictable. His decisions have always been shrouded in mystery, leaving the world guessing. Putin has been in charge of Russia for a long time. His journey from a KGB officer to the president of Russia is nothing short of remarkable. Over the years, he has navigated through numerous political landscapes, maintaining a firm grip on power. He likes to be in control, but things are changing. The political climate in Russia is evolving, and new challenges are emerging. Putin's ability to adapt to these changes will be crucial in determining his future. Russia is facing challenges, and some people are unhappy with Putin's leadership. Protests and dissent have become more visible, reflecting a growing discontent among the populace. The question remains, how will Putin respond to this unrest? Could this affect where he lives in the future? The political and social dynamics in Russia could influence Putin's decision on whether to stay in power or step down. His contemplation of the future is a subject of intense speculation. Some experts believe Putin will do everything he can to stay in power. They argue that his strategic mind and desire for control will drive him to navigate through any obstacles to maintain his position. Others think he might step down and choose a safe and luxurious place to live. The idea of Putin retiring to a high-security mansion or an elite retirement home is a scenario that some find plausible, given his long tenure and the potential for a peaceful life away from the political spotlight. One thing is certain, Putin's decision will have a big impact on Russia and the rest of the world. His influence extends beyond Russia's borders, and whatever path he chooses will resonate on the global stage, affecting international relations and geopolitical dynamics for years to come. The world waits with bated breath to see what the future holds for Vladimir Putin. Imagine a luxurious palace hidden away on the Black Sea. This isn't just any palace, it's a sprawling estate with breathtaking views, surrounded by lush greenery and the serene sound of waves crashing against the shore. The palace stands as a symbol of opulence and grandeur, a stark contrast to the modest homes that dot the Russian countryside. Inside, the palace is a treasure trove of luxury. It has everything: gold decorations that shimmer in the light, a private theater where one can enjoy the latest films in absolute comfort, and even a casino floor where fortunes can be won or lost in the blink of an eye. Every corner of this palace speaks of wealth and extravagance, a world far removed from the everyday lives of ordinary Russians. This secret palace, as it turns out, belongs to Vladimir Putin. The revelation of its existence sent shockwaves through the global community. How could such a grand estate remain hidden for so long? The answer lies in the intricate web of secrecy and deception that surrounds it. The discovery of this palace shocked the world. News reporters flocked to the scene, eager to uncover more details. The public's reaction was one of disbelief and outrage. How could their leader, who often spoke of patriotism and sacrifice, indulge in such excess? It showed that Putin was living a life of luxury, while many Russians struggled to make ends meet. The stark contrast between the opulence of the palace and the poverty in many Russian neighborhoods was glaring. People were angry, feeling the weight of inequality more than ever before. They felt betrayed by their leader. The man who was supposed to represent their interests and lead them to a better future was now seen as someone who prioritized his own comfort and wealth over the well-being of his people. The sense of betrayal was palpable, and it fueled a wave of protests and demands for accountability. The palace revealed something else too: Putin's lack of transparency. The secretive nature of the estate, with its hidden rooms and private meeting spaces, suggested a leader who operated in the shadows, away from the scrutiny of the public eye. He had kept this secret for years, hiding his wealth from the public. The extent of his hidden luxury lifestyle was staggering, and it raised serious questions about the sources of his wealth and the integrity of his leadership. This made people question his honesty and his commitment to serving the Russian people. If he could hide something as significant as this palace, what else was he hiding? The discovery of the palace became a catalyst for a broader conversation about transparency, accountability, and the true nature of leadership in Russia. The people demanded answers, and the world watched closely, waiting to see how this story of secrets and lies would unfold. Putin is like a chess player, always thinking several moves ahead. He wants Russia to be a major player on the world stage, and he's not afraid to use his power to get what he wants. One of Putin's strategies is to make friends with countries that don't always get along with the West. He's been building closer ties with China, Iran, and even North Korea. Putin is also using social media and the internet to spread his message and influence people outside of Russia. He knows that information is power, and he's using it to his advantage. Imagine wanting to buy a home but not being able to afford it. That's the reality for many Russians today. The country is facing a serious housing crisis. The price of homes in Russia has been skyrocketing while wages have remained low. This means that fewer and fewer people can afford to buy a place of their own. The government has tried to help by offering mortgages with low interest rates. But even with this help, many people are struggling to keep up with their payments. The housing crisis is a major problem for Russia, and it's only getting worse. Putin's palace predicament: to stay or to go. The recent revelations about the opulent palace allegedly linked to Vladimir Putin have sparked a significant controversy. This grand estate, with its lavish architecture and sprawling grounds, has become a symbol of excess and secrecy. The discovery of Putin's secret palace has put him in a difficult position. The investigative work that brought this hidden mansion to light has raised many questions about transparency and accountability in leadership. He can't hide it anymore, but he also can't afford to ignore the public outcry. The people are demanding answers, and the pressure is mounting. Protests have erupted, with citizens holding banners and calling for justice. The political landscape is becoming increasingly volatile. So, what will he do? The decision at hand is not just about the palace itself, but about the broader implications for his leadership and public trust. Every move he makes will be scrutinized, and the stakes are incredibly high. One option is to try and justify the palace, claiming that it's necessary for his security. In a world where leaders often face threats, the argument for a secure residence could hold some weight. However, the sheer extravagance of the palace makes this justification a tough sell, or that it's not as luxurious as people think. Downplaying the opulence might be another strategy, suggesting that the media has exaggerated the details. Yet, with so much evidence of its grandeur, convincing the public of this might be an uphill battle. But this might be difficult to do convincingly. The public's skepticism is palpable, and any attempt to downplay the situation could backfire, leading to further distrust and discontent. Another option is to distance himself from the palace, perhaps claiming that it was a gift. By suggesting that the palace was a gift from a wealthy benefactor, he might try to deflect some of the criticism, or that he doesn't actually own it. He could argue that the property is not in his name, and therefore he has no direct connection to it. This tactic might create some distance, but it also raises questions about transparency and the true nature of his assets. But this might be seen as a sign of weakness, and it might not be enough to appease the public. The people are looking for accountability, and any perceived evasion could further erode trust. Political analysts are already debating the potential fallout, and the consensus is that this issue won't be easily resolved. The palace has become a symbol of the larger issues at play, and how Putin handles this situation could define his legacy. The Putin effect ripples across Russia and beyond. Putin's decisions have far-reaching consequences. They affect not only the people of Russia but also the global balance of power. Inside Russia, Putin's tight grip on power has stifled dissent and limited freedom of speech. Critics of the government have been silenced, and independent media outlets have been shut down. On the world stage, Putin's actions have made other countries nervous. His annexation of Crimea and his support for separatists in Ukraine have raised fears of a new Cold War. Putin's future. What happens next? What does the future hold for Vladimir Putin? Will he remain in power for years to come, or will his reign come to an end? It's a question that no one can answer for sure. Some experts believe that Putin is firmly in control and that he has no intention of stepping down anytime soon. They point to his high approval ratings and his tight grip on power. Others believe that Putin's days are numbered. They argue that Russia's economic problems and growing social unrest will eventually lead to his downfall. The world holds its breath, uncertainty reigns. The world is watching Russia closely, wondering what will happen next. Putin's decisions have the potential to reshape the global order and the stakes are high. The uncertainty is making other countries nervous. They're not sure what to expect from Russia, and they're worried about the consequences of Putin's actions. The situation is complex and constantly evolving. It's impossible to predict the future with certainty, but one thing is clear: the world will be watching Russia closely in the years to come. Conclusion: stay tuned. Things are about to get interesting. The mystery of Putin's 2025 address remains unsolved. Will he be living in his luxurious palace, or will he be somewhere else entirely? Only time will tell. One thing is for sure: the next few years will be crucial for Russia and for the world. Putin's decisions will have a profound impact on everyone, and the stakes couldn't be higher. So stay tuned, because things are about to get interesting. The future is uncertain, but one thing is clear: the world will be watching Russia closely.